Available now on video. A Rocky Nelson movie. CONRAD Brooks in CONRAD Brooks Vs Werewolf. Starring David "The Rock" Nelson as the werewolf. And produced and directed by the Ed Wood of the 90s, David "The Rock" Nelson. See the town drunk, Henry Brooks. Henry Brooks, who starred as Henry Badirsky in Glen or Glenda, an Ed Wood movie from 1953, returns to the screen in CONRAD Brooks vs. the Werewolf. Henry Brooks staggers out of the bar, unaware of the evil that awaits him. See Henry Brooks stumble through the town of Baltimore, Maryland, unaware of what evil lurks in the shadows. What is the fate of Henry Brooks? We shall find out. The werewolf sneaks out of the shadows in search of his next victim. Who will it be? See two girls scream in terror as they see the werewolf. Who will the werewolf's next victim be? We shall find out. Ted Brooks alerts CONRAD of a murder in town. CONRAD and Ted Brooks go to the rescue. The old cemetery, the werewolf's domain. CONRAD Brooks discovers a broken-in grave. Is it the werewolf's grave? CONRAD Brooks, on the right, has appeared in many Ed Wood pictures, including Plan 9 from Outer Space in 1956. He played Jamie the Cop. And Ted Brooks, on the left, appeared in Ed Wood's first Western film in 1948, along with CONRAD and his brother Henry. See these two cult figures return to the screen in David "The Rock" Nelson's CONRAD Brooks vs. the Werewolf, a Rocky Nelson movie. Ted Brooks meets the keeper of the cemetery. But is he friend or fiend? What is this man's true identity? See the werewolf's only true friend on all the earth, a statue in the old cemetery. His only buddy on the whole face of the earth. CONRAD Brooks returns to the screen in one of his most entertaining roles ever. And David "The Rock" Nelson as the ferocious werewolf. You'll see it all when you see CONRAD Brooks vs. the Werewolf. Available now on video. You'll see the ultimate battle of all times when you see David "The Rock" Nelson's CONRAD Brooks versus the Werewolf. See the ultimate battle. See CONRAD Brooks versus the Werewolf. Available now on video. Order it from David "The Rock" Nelson. Plus, on the same video, see a special interview by David "The Rock" Nelson of the Brooks brothers, Conrad, Henry, and Ted. See beautiful Baltimore, Maryland, the home of the Brooks brothers. All three Brooks brothers, Conrad, Henry, and Ted, all appeared in Ed Wood movies of the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Here's Conrad Brooks, who played Jamie the policeman in Plan 9 from Outer Space, filmed in 1956 by Ed Wood.
And of course, you know, Plan 9 from Outer Space went on, one considered the worst motion picture of all times. It's grossed already $20 million.
Wow, that's great. Now, tell us about your latest Hollywood picture.
My latest picture in Hollywood, it's called Misfit Patrol. It's a comedy. It's a non-violent picture, and a great cast of actors in it, which I play Officer Murphy. The man who plays opposite of me is David Fontes. And also featuring in the picture as well is, the man's name is Vernon Wells, right. The man who worked with Schwarzenegger in a picture called Commando. And so it'll be released late this year, which is '93, at your local theaters.
All right.
Before I forget, this is my hometown here in Baltimore, Maryland. I left here back in 1948 to go to Hollywood, and that was the year when I met Ed Wood. And of course I did my first film in 1952 called Glenn or Glenda.
Oh, yeah. And here's Henry Brooks, 84 years young brother of Conrad Brooks. Now a big star in David "Rocky" Nelson's latest feature, CONRAD Brooks versus the Werewolf. He's also a star of many Ed Wood pictures.
Well, Ed Wood was an old friend of mine. He's a man of great ambition.
All right, here's Ted Brooks, another actor. He was in Jailbait, a film by Ed Wood, in 1953. He had a small bit part in a bar scene, and also he was in Female Trouble by John Waters, who produced and directed it. He's also starring in David "The Rock" Nelson's latest feature, CONRAD Brooks versus the Werewolf. Him, Henry, and Conrad all star in this film, so it's the Brooks brothers meet Nelson and the Werewolf.
I think in time to come, who knows, you may become another Ed Wood.
Thank you very much. Over on front.
What do you think, Henry?
I agree with you, Ted. Yes, indeed.
Well,
I think Rocky is fighting his way there, despite the rocky road he's got to travel. That's what else can I say other than this is a lot of fun.
Here, Ted Brooks, Henry Brooks, and Conrad Brooks all speak of Bela Lugosi, Ed Wood, the Tim Burton movie called The Ed Wood Story, and many other subjects.
Which I just recently met Johnny Depp in New York City.
That's great, and he's going to play Ed Wood, right?
And he's playing Ed Wood, but I understand they have some young TV actor that's going to be playing me. And of course, Lisa Presley, Elvis Presley's daughter, she's going to be playing Vampira.
He's another Nelson. What are you going to do with him?
And I believe Rocky's going to go a long, long way.